Good evening and welcome to Griff's Georgetown for another season of Cougar Puck Radio. New voice behind the mic. You may not recognize me, but I'm Matt Gajtka. I'll be riding with you for all the Cougar hockey you can handle all season long. First of all, I want to give a huge tip of the cap, or a tap of the stick, as would be more appropriate in this sport, to Reagan Cleaves, who's moved on to Central Michigan University. That kid's got a bright future ahead of him. I say kid, he's a young man. He put together quite the network here, and I'm looking forward to picking up the baton and carrying it. To introduce myself, I'm a naturalized West Michigander. My wife is from Grand Rapids. I'm from Pittsburgh, PA originally, but I actually was the broadcaster for the Muskegon Lumberjacks of the USHL about 10 years ago when we lived here last. Then we moved to Pittsburgh for a bit, where I called high school hockey in Western Pennsylvania. And now I'm happy to bring my passion behind the mic here to West Michigan and, once again, get the chance to call games for you great folks in the area. Tonight we have an outstanding matchup, part of a great opening weekend for Catholic Central, as they, regional champs themselves from last spring in the COVID-shortened season, will take on a pair of regional champions back-to-back, starting tonight for this 7:30 face-off against the Grandville Bulldogs, who also made it to the state quarterfinals last year before falling to eventual state finalist Rockford, who the Cougars will see tomorrow night at home. So, yes, the challenge is stiff early on for head coach Mike Slobodnik and his club. Slobodnik entering his 11th season behind the bench for the Cougars. But Catholic Central, which went 5-6-0 in the regular season before catching fire in the playoffs, does return 12 players. There are 11 newcomers, but 12 players come back, including a couple of top scorers. Gabe and Nate Sova, the two brothers, were outstanding last year. Gabe had 14 points, and Nate had 12 points, including a team-high tying 7 goals. Also, Andrew Wormuth, the returning senior, had 7 goals and 3 assists for 10 total points. No returning goalies for Catholic Central this year, so they'll have to look to some new talent in net. A couple of sophomores, number 41 Max Moore, number 31 Trent Goheen, and we'll see who gets the call here on opening night. But that'll be interesting to see how things shake out in that area. I also want to thank, before we get going here on tonight's game, team manager Lynn Sova for being the liaison, helping me get everything set up here, and also my cameraman tonight, Luke Goheen, as he's running the show for the first time. I appreciate that. Hey, he's the important one here, as I'm just narrating. He's the one doing the key work here on YouTube. There you see the Cougars in front of you in the predominantly blue jerseys with the gold and the white trim. Grandville's at the other end of the rink. The Bulldogs, also opening their season tonight, are in their home white uniforms with the maroon trim, and with a nice crowd here to support both teams. Not a tough trip for either side, really, as most of these road games, quote-unquote, are in the Grand Rapids area. We're going to see plenty of blue in the stands, I have a feeling. Well, I mentioned last year was a good one in the end for Catholic Central. They fought through plenty of COVID postponements. It was difficult for sure, but they got through the regular season and then beat Jackson Lumen Christi in the regional playoffs before falling 3-1 to Flint Powers in the Division III state quarterfinals. An issue last year, though, was Grandville. The Bulldogs took both of the two season meetings between these two sides last year, including a 5-0 win out at the Southside Arena, where we'll be tomorrow night, and a 4-3 win here. In a losing effort last year, in this very building, Ryder Mulvey, now a sophomore, had a couple of goals, and Nate Sova had 2 assists. On the Grandville side, we saw Pratt score a goal and an assist, and Rosema and Harrington get a couple of points in that 5-0 victory. One of the strong spots for Catholic Central last year was its power play. They converted a 37% rate, and also the penalty kill was great, 91%, for a team that has plenty of championship tradition, 14 regional championships, 10 Michigan Final Fours, and a state championship in 2011. Standards are high, even though half the team turns over here for Coach Slobodnik. As for Grandville, they also have a proud tradition. How about 7 regional championships since 2011, and also 4 in a row between 2014 and 2017. They made the state Final Four in each of those 4 seasons, and they were state runners-up in 2015. That's the furthest the Bulldogs have made it. And they have a couple of goalies who are going to be vying for playing time. The senior, Ben Hernandez, making his varsity debut, and the junior, Ann Beck, who played in 4 games last year. She will get the chance to prove herself as well. Getting set for the starting lineups here on the road. Once again, this is Cougar Puck Radio. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can like and subscribe to get alerts whenever our broadcasts do go live, and you can check out the live stream after the fact when it's archived, and also do my best to post some highlights like Reagan Cleaves did last year. Reagan and his assistants did a wonderful job, like I mentioned, and I'm just happy to be here, happy to be calling some high school hockey as the season gets going this week before Thanksgiving. On the Grandville side, I mentioned they're a proud squad. They went 8-5-1 to finish third in the Rue Division of the OK Conference last year. Their season ended to Rockford in a 4-3 quarterfinal loss, but they did good work to get as far as they did. They defeated West Ottawa, Hudsonville, and Grand Rapids Christian in the regional playoffs to advance to the state tournament once again, where they faced a fellow West Michigan school. Players to watch on the Granville side: Gavin Rosema, the top returning scorer. He had 20 points as a junior. Also, Brendan Bourne, number 18 on your screen tonight. He had a team best 10 assists and was third on the team last year with 18 points. And I mentioned Ann Beck is the lone returning goalie on the roster. She posted a record of 3-1 with an .896 save percentage and a 5.23 goals against average. PK was good for Grandville last year, 88%. And they were dominant from the second period on last year. They were pretty much break even in the first period. But after that, they outscored opponents by 24 combined goals. Like I mentioned, no state titles for the Bulldogs, but this figures to be a difficult matchup for the Cougars tonight. Even though the Bulldogs lost their top scorer last year, Andrew Urturo, who had 27 points in just 14 regular season games, and their top goalie, Bryson Harrington, who had a .908 save percentage. The key departures for Catholic Central: Lucas Chalfoun really stands out. The goaltender, 9 games played, a 4-5 record last year. But like I said, plenty of returning talent for the boys in blue tonight. Assistant coaches for Mike Slobodnik: Joel Kwiatkowski, Mike Moss, and Josh Stella. And it's a team laden with brothers, Catholic Central. So I'll do my best to give you the first name with the last name. The Kwiatkowskis, Henry and Shane. We have the Schweigerts, Drew and Ian. As well as the Sovas, Nate, the sophomore, and Gabe, the senior. Also a couple of more, Sam and Max, but they are not related. So we'll keep that in mind. The PA announcer getting things revved up here. Here's we're going to start a little bit past the 7:30 puck drop. The captain being introduced, Gavin Rosema. We have a Grandville Catholic Central connection too. I mentioned the team manager, Lynn Sova, for Catholic Central. He was coached in college by Joel Brazil, who's behind the Grandville bench. Well, looking ahead to the schedule for the Cougars this season, coming from Western Pennsylvania, where I'm from, it's a much more compact schedule in Michigan high school hockey. Hockey's a club sport in Western Pennsylvania, so they don't really care about running conflicts with football or basketball. They go about 5 months. Instead, here in Michigan, we'll get going with a couple of games in a couple of nights. Tonight here against Grandville, and tomorrow against Rockford at home. All right, we'll remove our caps and direct our attention to the Star-Spangled Banner down to our left. We're moments away from puck drop. Here from Griff's Georgetown, Catholic Central against Grandville in just a moment. Well, there you have it. We're moments from puck drop from Griff's Georgetown. This is Matt Gajtka on the call on Cougar Puck Radio. Just search it on YouTube. As I mentioned, you can find some highlights as well the following day after these games, in addition to the full game broadcast that we'll have here. Maybe some other goodies, too. We'll see what we can do over the course of the season. Less restrictions this year, thank goodness. Last year was difficult for everyone, but the teams got through it for the most part, and we awarded championships in the state of Michigan and across the country in high school hockey. Just great to see everyone back on the ice and looking healthy, looking ready to go. Your starting netminders tonight. Ann Beck gets the call for Grandville. She wears number 31. Beck with a record of 3-1 and an .896 goal save percentage, last year. A .523 goals against as a sophomore. So she makes the jump to the upperclassmen ranks. And Trent Goheen makes his varsity debut, the sophomore, also wearing number 31 down to our left. The puck is dropped, and we're playing hockey for the 2021-22 Michigan high school season. Catholic Central couldn't clear. Chance right out in front, and a good save by Goheen on the opportunity for Brendan Bourne. Nearly a goal 5 seconds into this game, but maybe that allows the Cougars to get their feet under them. Goheen patted that out to the far side. Another turnover. Bourne tries to put it on goal, but he can't do it. Play broken up. Here come the Cougars, 3 men strong, but the puck ended up behind Braylon Outwater, so he has to backhand it in deep and go for the dump and chase game. The Bulldogs on the retrieval here. Here's the co-captain, Gavin Rosema. Rosema, 20 points last year, but he goes off obediently for a line change 40 seconds into this one. Now the Cougars rev it up. It's Henry Kwiatkowski, and that's an icing call against the visitors. That'll bring the faceoff back down to our left. 44 seconds elapsed in period number 1. Both teams 0-0 in the Rue Division. As I mentioned in the pregame last year, the Cougars were 5-6 in the regular year. Grandville was 8-5-1, so the Bulldogs had a chance to play a few more games. And that's through no fault of Catholic Central, just the vagaries of COVID and all that went on last year. Hoping for none of that this season, but can't be too careful. Turning play here out of the corner by Suwadinsky. He left it there for Matt Turcotte. Dished it out to point. Wrist shot was deflected. Came from Easton Pratt, and it sticked out into the netting by the goaltender Goheen. First period of play. You can see the scoreboard down to your left. 17 minutes in high school hockey, if you're unfamiliar. Off the draw. Cougars win it. It's off the sideboards, but not cleared. Trammell Fields held it in. Doubling back for it, Ian Schweigert. Schweigert played it ahead. Maybe a chance for the Cougars on the counterattack rush, but Gabe Sova couldn't pull it around the Grandville checker. This will be Owen Barrett trying to bang it up the boards. He can't do it. Grandville's cheering section gets into it. Braden Mole bounces it off a Cougar stick and out into the neutral zone. This long shot from center ice goes wide of Ann Beck in net. Until she's a very aggressive goaltender, likes to stay on top of her crease, at least so far. Brendan Bourne parading down the wall in his second shift. Strong check there by Josiah Lambers. Knocked down Holloman behind the goal. Play continues on. This is Bourne from the corner. Bourne reversed the flow. Rosema there. He'll dump it in behind the net with 2 minutes elapsed in this first period, no score. Holloman shoveled it up the far side wall and cracked out of the Cougars zone, but this will be an icing. A little too much on that clearance from Drew Schweigert. Drew, who returns after putting up 4 points in 10 games last regular season. Again, a big thanks to my camera person tonight, Luke Goheen. We're going to test that arm strength this evening. He's working without a stand, folks. Shane Kwiatkowski hammers it around the wood, and out come the Cougars with it. It's Outwater. Stripped of the puck, though. Good defensive play by Rosema as he turns it back up ice. And this will be another icing, this time against Grandville. Can sometimes tell when it's the first game of the season. The rhythm is not quite there. The breakouts aren't as crisp as the coaches and players want them to be. But that's to be expected. Rockford's on top early in the Rue Division, by the way. They beat Christian on Wednesday night 4-2. Face-off one, back to the point. Schweigert a shot, save, rebound, and Beck made the stop there on Liam Watt from point-blank range. Colin Hoffer digs in. Hoffer pries it loose, but right to a Bulldog. And Grandville does get the clear. Easton Pratt heads up ice with it. Pratt chopping at the puck. It's on this near side. Suwodinski leaning in to pull it free, but there's a good defensive play from Hoffer to poke it out to center. On it, Drew Harrington cuts inside and shoots. And a blocker save by Goheen. That's a couple of shots right on from the slot. Cougars are going to want to clean that up defensively. Puck knocked down the wall. Here comes Gabe Sova. Sova in front. Oh, and it's knocked out of the air by Nate Sova and just wide. Might have been a high stick, but we'll never find out. Well, apparently not, because the Cougars touched it next, and the referees say play on. Harrington on the back track for Grandville. Turned it over, though. Mulvey had that puck hit him in the skates. Mulvey, who had a couple of goals against Grandville last year in the 4-3 loss in this building last March. Long-range shot goes off the glove of Beck. Oh, my. Ian Schweigert nearly fooled her from 70 feet. But no harm, no foul for her, and play will roll on. Sager kept the puck alive on the near side boards, but not for long. Here comes Grandville on the counterattack. Andrew Pullman looking to pass it. Now he feeds a man. Rosebush shot. Another stop. Goheen goes high in the air, and it's patted over the crossbar. Clutch play from Gabe Sova to keep it out of danger. Another chance here, and a wrist shot from Fields goes over the crossbar and off the glass. Grandville with an early push in the opening 4 minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Another centering play. This time the Cougars have it, and it's lifted out to the safety of center by Holloman. Nearly a pickoff at the top of the forecheck for the Cougars, Zach Westrick, but nothing doing. Here's a smooth deke from Nemechek. Nemechek got it over the line. He was tripped up, and a penalty is coming up, our first one of the game. And it's going to go against Grandville. The visitors will get power play number 1 in this regular season. The regular season opener for both teams. Like I mentioned, the Cougars' power play was deadly last year, 37% conversion rate. Really, special teams in general were strong. So it's a 5-on-4 for 2 minutes. Grandville hopes it's just 2 minutes. There's a delay here as the scorekeeper, well, it's the opening game for him too. Trying to get the 2 minutes on the board, and he will. Here's the draw from the left dot. Controlled by Grandville's Matt Turcott, and bang down the length of the ring. Kwiatkowski will take this handoff from Goheen. Shane Kwiatkowski, the junior. Played all 10 regular season games last year, contributed 7 points, and was heard from on the power play. Nate Sova was knocked down, but he keeps on ticking. Finds the puck in the corner. Pinned up against the wall there, and a spinning strong clear from Easton Pratt of Grandville takes care of the pressure. A reminder, you can follow Michigan High School Hockey at MIHS Hockey Hub, although it doesn't appear we have the live box rolling tonight, so don't want to give them too much credit this evening. Also, there was no real box score for the Rockford Christian game the other night, so I guess we'll have to guess as to who scored. Good, strong play from Sova to get the puck in the offensive zone. Here's an opportunity for an open net score! Grant Kuykendall fires it home. He had the open 4x6, and he buried it from the side of the net. And with 11:44 to go in the first period, Catholic Central leads at 1-0 on a power play strike. Kuykendall had 3 last year, and he nails this one. The senior power forward at the right post. Nothing Ann Beck could do. It became a 3-on-0 after Nate Sova took the check to make the play. Actually, he took 2 checks. And in fact, there's going to be a penalty against Grandville here after the goal. Andrew Pullman's headed off. And we call that insult to injury. 1-0 Catholic Central after Kuykendall shoots to thrill. That's just how you draw it up. You draw players to you on the power play. You hope the PK team overcommits, and that's exactly what Grandville did to give Catholic Central all sorts of room to polish that one off. We'll wait for the announcement on the assist. So Gabe Sova gets the primary, Nate gets the secondary. And it's another power play for Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Here they go again. Knocked down the wall by Schweigert to Gabe Sova. Turning shot goes just over the top from Wormuth. Good looking wrister there, but he couldn't find the target from the top of the right circle. 11:06 to go in the first period. Catholic Central up 1-0, nearly making it 2, jamming away, and Beck somehow held her pad down on the ice to stop a couple of attempts from point blank. That close to 2, but Beck holds the fort for the Bulldogs. And you might have heard from the cheer, but we have a healthy Cougar cheering section in attendance tonight. And I'm right there in the midst of them. Wormuth to take the draw for the Cougars. He'll go up against Brendan Bourne of Grandville. Face-off won by Catholic Central again. Nemechek powers it in deep. Braden Mole couldn't make the play for Grandville, but his teammate Lambers will. Down the ice it goes. 1 minute gone on the second power play for the Cougars in this game. Already up 1-0 on the Grant Kuykendall power play goal. This is Matt Gajtka on the play-by-play. You're listening to and watching Cougar Puck Radio. Trent Goheen with a hold up behind his net. He made a couple of early saves. Don't forget about those to help Catholic Central get its footing. This pass, though, goes too far for Outwater to lasso in, so that's an icing on the power play. That's a no-no, but the Cougars know it. Full line change for both sides. And the face-off to Goheen's left. Off the draw, controlled back by one of the co-captains for the Bulldogs, Lambers, but his pass goes out into the neutral zone. Not too big of a faux pas there because the Bulldogs are just trying to kill some time, and they do on the shoot-in. Now a half minute left on this second power play. Kuykendall with some room, those long strides, pulling it to his forehand, but his shot was deflected to the end glass. Now in front of the net, loose puck there, and scooped up on the move by Nate Sova. To the point, Shane Kwiatkowski, back down low. Here's Nate Sova shooting, off the post, rebound, that goes wide from the near side. Zach Westrick tried to hammer it in, but couldn't find the range. Power play over. Catholic Central's 1 for 2, but they've already accomplished task number 1, and that's score first on the road. Nate Sova, the sophomore, couldn't get past the first line of defense in the Bulldog zone. Another chance here on a high shot. Beck makes the blocker save on Outwater, and then she pounces on the rebound without going down onto her pads. She gets a tap from one of her teammates. 9:24 left in the first. Off the draw, again, Grand Rapids controls. Catholic Central, that is. Holloman dumped it below the goal line. Kuykendall joining the party. Wants to wrap it in front, and he does, but it's intercepted there by Rozema. He hits his winger, Andrew Pullman, galloping down the left wing side. On his backhand, Pullman to the front of the net, and cleared out of there by Catholic Central, but the dish from Preston Berta eludes Kuykendall, and that's an icing again against GRCC. We're here at Griff's Georgetown. Beautiful facility, home of the Grand Valley State University club team, as well as Granville, Jenison, and Hudsonville. Hudsonville, in fact, suffered a home loss in tonight's 5 o'clock start, the opener of our doubleheader at this rink. 8-2 was the final there, so they'll have to regroup after a tough opening game. Westrick, high off the glass, off a partition. It hops down right at the red line and slugged in by the Bulldogs. Veneclace, loose puck, over to the stick of Braden Mole, who just hoists that backhand into the glove of Goheen. No further play, 8:35 left in the first. Obviously, when you have a couple of regional champs going at it, both teams finished 2020-21 in strong fashion. And it looked like it was going to be a good one. And so far, it's been highly competitive. And you always know that the energy is going to be through the roof on opening night for sure. That'll be the same for the Cougars tomorrow when they host the Rockford Rams, who I mentioned are already off to a 1-0 start, following up on their run to the state final last year in Division I. And we have some housekeeping going on. The referee on our near side has a shovel out, working on something. Maybe he's just scooping up some ice. I'm not sure what's down there. It looks like pieces of maybe a mouth guard. I can't even tell. I have no idea what's down there. It was something black that he placed in the shovel along with the ice shavings. At any rate, we play on with Catholic Central ahead 1-0. Here's the face-off. And a tie-up. And picked up by Suwodinski, who leans in there against Ian Schweigert. Suwodinski dropped it below the goal line. Turcotte on the cycle game. To the outside, defended by Henry Kwiatkowski. To the front of the net, a chance, and it's blocked in front. Good opportunity there for Suwodinski, but he was denied. It hit a blue shin guard about 5 feet in front of the goaltender, Goheen. Didn't quite catch the number, but good team defense for the Cougars. On the retrievals, Easton Pratt for Grandville. Look out, lost control. Ryder Mulvey doggedly pursuing the puck. Drew Schweigert behind the net. And here's Ryder Mulvey. Try to go back out to the point to Henry Kwiatkowski, but the pass didn't connect. And it's lifted down the rink. Rosema on the chase for Grandville. Wanted to poke it around the defender there, but couldn't do it. But he gets on the puck again, does Rosema. Whistles a shot, and he missed it short side. Sova picks it up, and Henry Kwiatkowski overskates. Can't blame the ice right now, still in the first period. And what's the call here? The faceoff's coming back in the Catholic Central zone. I'm not quite sure why. No penalties called. A little more than halfway through period number 1. Grant Kuykendall scored on the power play after a tripping minor against Granville. The Cougars are 1 for 2. Speaking of, on the power play, I should say. Speaking of Kuykendall, he stretches out but can't reach that aerial pass. And so it's icing against the boys in blue. Plenty of game action to start this season. And I'll try to relay along to you some of the interesting tidbits on the season schedule. And we'll try to cover as many as we can. I don't know if I'm going to be making the long trips out east, but everything in the Grand Rapids area, you can expect to have the game right here on Cougar Puck Radio. From behind the goal line, Brendan Bourne wearing a C for the white-clad Bulldogs of Granville. Down the wall comes Rosema to ladle it on to Holden Pratt. But again, here come the Cougars, breaking it up, and here they come. Shane Kwiatkowski to the middle, and Sova couldn't handle it there. And the net is knocked off its moorings. Just some crash-bang type hockey in this first period. And pardon, I said Sova. That was actually Braylon Outwater, who took a bump, and he's still recovering from that one. He got run into the goalpost. Legally, it appeared. But one thing Grandville's doing in the first period is they're making the Cougars earn every bit of ice that they try to acquire here in the offensive zone. It's been physical. Colin Hoffer chopping away at the half wall. This will be handled by Josiah Lambers. Around to the far side, Lambers has it again for Grandville. Looking up with those championship banners behind him at the far end of the rink down to our right, but turned over. Shot right back into the mix by Connor Schetz, who got his first touch on the puck in this first period. Schetz now pressuring against Pratt. Pratt works it around the wall and out, but to no one in particular. So Catholic Central will gladly take possession of the puck once again. And it's Shane Kwiatkowski. In behind the net. Relayed ahead by Liam Watt. Two teams exchanging possession right now. Change of lines in effect for both teams. Gunnar Suwodinski stripped of the puck on this near side by Zach Westrick. And chopped off the kick plate by Drew Schweigert, and down it goes. Pass goes behind Granville's Matt Turcotte. Here come the Cougars again. Westrick couldn't knock it down, but Nemechek will. But again, a regroup necessary. And wheeled into the offensive zone by Ian Schweigert out near the red line. No icing here as it's Drew Schweigert hopping on it below the goal line. Taken on by Suwodinski of Grandville. Suwodinski to Pratt. He reversed it, but right into trouble here. Westrick tried to make a pass to the doorstep, but that was broken up. Good defensive play from Drew Harrington. He got the stick down, but this is iced by the Bulldogs, and now the Cougars have had several consecutive productive 5-on-5 shifts. With 5:04 to go in the first, they got to be feeling pretty good about their opening 12 minutes of the season or so. Great to start the hockey season when it should be starting, right, in November, as opposed to last year. Of course, all the players and teams were grateful for every game they got to play last year. It was looking kind of cloudy for a long time. But like I said, they got through it. Better result than the previous year when everything was canceled at the end of the season. Lambers, number 22 for Granville. They've got 3 captains on my count, all 3 wearing the C's. Nate Sova mishandled at the line, so it has to be shot right back in. Ann Beck pins it down, but there's no Cougar around, so she's forced to move it. Lead pass to Andrew Pullman. Redirected it up ahead. It's in the skates here of Preston Berta, but he made a poised play. Again, bodies come together. Mulvey of Catholic Central pinning Lambers to the wall. Some of the Cougar students are standing up down to our left. That's who you see. Maybe blocking your view a little bit, but that's okay. We'll forgive for the passion. Gabe Sova hammers this one ahead. He's going off for a change. His brother Nate's in there on the check to try to free this puck up, and he does. Nate to the front of the nets, and again out there above her blue paint. Ann Beck, she hangs on, and we have some tempers rising in front of the Bulldog cage. 3:56 to go in the first period. Another attack zone draw for Grand Rapids Catholic Central, who returned their top 7 scorers from last season. 11 newcomers, but when you return your top 7 scorers, it's not all bad for sure. And plenty of players got at least a half dozen points in the 10 games played in the regular season last year. So it was a pretty well-rounded Cougar attack at the end of the season. Ripped in deep by Holden Pratt. He runs over one of the Cougars behind the net, but the play turns back the other way. Kuykendall harassing Pratt. Back to take here is Holden Pratt. There's a couple of Pratts on Grandville, pardon me. We have Easton and Holden both out there at the same time. They're not making it easy on the play-by-play guy, are they? Shane Kwiatkowski behind the goal. Another one of those brotherly duos. Wormuth is on it. Wormuth smeared to the glass by Holden Pratt, but he keeps on going. Wormuth trying to poke it along. Kuykendall had one hand on his stick, but he pried it loose to the point, and her high wrist shot goes over the top from Henry Kwiatkowski. Nate Sova in the corner, or pardon me, that's Outwater. He's got that jersey tucked in, a la Wayne Gretzky or Jaromir Jagr, and so can't read the 3 on the back. Good thing there are names on the back of the jerseys, too. On the take back for Grandville, Drew Harrington, but he's under some serious pressure here from Westrick, who's getting plenty of ice time from Coach Mike Slobodnik in the first period. He's been hustling all over the ice. But there's going to be a penalty coming up, an offensive zone penalty at that. A little too feisty for the liking of the referee on this near side who made the call. And Catholic Central's about to go shorthanded on a roughing minor. Handed to Nolan Nemechek. Now we get our first look at the Grand Rapids Catholic Central penalty kill, which was 91% effective last season. It was a shortened season, but hey, you do what you can, and they did terrifically well. Granville's power play for a strong side converted only about 1 out of 5 times, 19% last season. But the Bulldogs control after the scramble draw. Holden Pratt dumped it down the wall to Gavin Rosema. He's spun off the puck. Rosema again. Little handoff move. Pratt closing, shooting, save, big rebound, and put off the goalpost. Still loose, and it's under a bunch of bodies, most notably Trent Goheen. He hangs on for the whistle. Good opportunity there for Grandville, but Goheen and company hold it down. And you knew there was going to be trouble when Holden Pratt was able to close inside the top of that left faceoff circle. That long stick of his probably gets a lot of leverage. Probably one of the top shooters on this side, you would imagine. Loose puck and swatted out by the Cougars. Beck back behind her net to play it. She looks up and makes a little relay on the backhand to Lambers. Rosema. The dish up to the blue line, or red line, pardon me, for Brendan Bourne, but he's overcome by a couple of Cougars. Here's a chance for Drew Schweiger, but he whiffed on the opportunity shorthanded. Still killed off some time. Now 1 minute gone, give or take, on the penalty to Nolan Nemechek. He's in the box for roughing. Nifty little behind the back pass there from Barrett, but not to be for the Bulldogs. Again, the clear from Ryder Mulvey this time. Sudinsky rounds his goal. Nate Sova trying to make something happen shorthanded. Couldn't quite steal the puck, but forced to backtrack for the Bulldogs. 1 minute to go in the period, 35 seconds to go on the power play, and an icing against the team with one more body on the ice. That'll help the Cougars' cause. Gabe Sova to take the draw. Always a balance here when you're shorthanded, but starting in the offensive zone. If you can win it back cleanly, you can get a chance, but not to be this time. Bourne reverses flow for Grandville. Easton Pratt right back to Bourne, and Catholic Central's okay with this exchange. It's taken a while for the Bulldogs to get up ice, and now they're going to be offside if they don't hold up, and they do not hold up. Turcotte was a step ahead of the play, and again, that draws a whistle. 42 seconds remaining before the intermission. Here's the puck drop. Wormuth drew it back, but that can be a gift and a curse if you want it too cleanly shorthanded. In this situation, it'll be Holden Pratt once again, swinging it across the rink. Lambers couldn't handle cleanly. Power play is over. Half minute to go in the period. 1-0 Catholic Central on the Kuykendall power play goal, but it's turned over. But this pass doesn't connect to Andrew Pullman, and the Cougars have a chance to at least reverse the flow of play and create some space, and they do. Kuykendall, little relay. Good play on to Outwater. Closes and shoots, and Beck makes the short side save down to the butterfly. Outwater was swaggering in, but didn't have much of an angle. He had to nail a perfect shot to score from there. But hey, you never know, and maybe you can get a rebound. Not in that case. Beck absorbed it right in the G on her chest. Gabe Sova goes forward off the draw. 5 seconds left in the period. But now taken cleanly by Bourne of Grandville, and he'll just kill the rest of the first period. Buzzer sounds, and a strong first period for Catholic Central. 1-0 on the Grant Kuykendall PPG in the early going. And we're going to bring the Zamboni out for a quick cut. And we'll take a break here on Cougar Puck Radio. Cougars ahead after one frame here in Georgetown at Griff's. We'll be right back with the second period after this break. Back where I'm from, they just roll it over. They just play the second period on the chopped up ice. I'm from Pittsburgh. They do it that way. I don't know why. I was curious what you guys were going to do. It's my first high school game up in Michigan, so. Intermission over, back at Griff's Georgetown. This is Matt Gajtka on the play-by-play on Cougar Puck Radio. And those Cougars of Grand Rapids Catholic Central have a 1-0 advantage after one period of play on a Grant Kuykendall power play goal about 7 minutes into action tonight. Assist to Gabe and Nate Sova. And that was it as far as the scoring goes in the opening 17 minutes. 2 power plays for Catholic Central, and the Cougars converted on one of those. 1 power play for Grandville, and the Bulldogs could not get much of anything on that one, just the 1 shot on goal during that situation. Second period on tap. Thank you for joining us, whether it be live or after the fact. The Cougars will be attacking the goal down to your left on your device screen. That's where Grandville goalie Ann Beck is stationed, and down to our right is the sophomore Trent Goheen of Catholic Central. Goheen, a perfect first period. And his team really picked up the pace after a couple of minutes to start in which they gave up 1 or 2 grade A chances. Here's a centering pass out toward the high slot. That's picked up and backhanded toward the goal by Holden Pratt. That didn't get through. And now a takeaway. Brendan Bourne couldn't make anything happen for Grandville as Kuykendall will shove it ahead. Kuykendall in on the forward check, right in front of the Cougar cheering section. But it's chipped past him. It's a 4-on-1 for Granville. It's Pullman to the middle, gets it back, and a save rebound. They score! It's tied 1-1. Pullman shoveled it over to Rosema, who gave it right back to him. And after an initial save by Goheen, he did all he could, but Pullman chipped in that bouncing puck from the top of the crease. 29 seconds into period number 2. So that'll tie your score at 1 in the opening the opening game of the season. 5-on-5 goal for Grandville. Here's a chance off the quick turn from Schroeder, but that didn't find the net. Pullman had 8 goals last year, so now make it 9 in his last 15 games in the regular season. Suwodinski pulls up in the corner. Now the Bulldogs have some energy from that goal, but a turnover. Schweigert takes it away for the guys in blue, and it's pushed out through center ice. Ripped right back in by Trammell Fields, but this is, I believe, offside against the Bulldogs. Yes, that's the call. Actually, it was icing. They'll bring it all the way back. And that's just fine for the Cougars, of course. Off the face-off, controlled by Grandville. It's tossed right over the head of the Cougars' Ian Schweigert. Down the ice it goes, and unable to get there before it crosses the goal line. Andrew Pullman, the goal scorer. So we'll drag the puck right back down the rink again. Mike Slobodnik in his 11th season coaching Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Joel Brazil, the man in charge for Grandville. Both teams bring back over 10 players from last year's regional championship squads. Both teams fell in the state quarterfinals last spring. So good runs at the end of the season after pretty much so-so regular seasons, I'm sure they'd tell you. Catholic Central was even below 500 at 5-6 before the playoffs began, and they caught fire. Crossing over Drew Harrington. He'll hammer it off the near side boards. Picked up off the carom by Brendan Bourne. Bourne stumbles down as he's checked with the hip of Ian Schweigert. Loose puck high in the Cougars' end. And it's pushed out onto that GV logo for Grand Valley State University. This is the home of the Lakers, as well as 3 high school teams. Jenison, Hudsonville, and these Grandville Bulldogs. Opportunity for Turcotte as he took the shot, and that's sticked up into the screen by Goheen. Nothing further from there. I was enjoying the PA announcer was actually singing karaoke along to Guns N' Roses at the end of the first intermission. Haven't heard that before, but Hey, whatever it takes to get the folks going, right? We play 17-minute periods and 12-minute intermissions in Michigan high school hockey. This is driven around the glass, and weird bounce off a partition allows it to skip past every skater on the ice. So icing back the other way, the face-off will be to our right. And I was just telling a couple of folks that where I'm from in western Pennsylvania, we just play the first 2 periods back-to-back. There is no real intermission. So the ice gets pretty choppy, as you might imagine, at the end of the second. That's just the way they do it. They try to squeeze the games into 2-hour windows back home. It's more like 2.5, excuse me, for these games. Gabe Sova has some room and shoots. Beck made the glove save, and it stays in that big trapper of hers. With Nate Sova, Gabe's brother, right in front causing some trouble. 14:33 left in the second period. 1-1 your score on Cougar Puck Radio. Big thanks to Grandville for the hospitality that allowed me to get an Ethernet cable, get everything set up here. The only thing I'm missing is a table, but you don't care about that. I don't care about that. I feel like I'm a fan tonight, taking it in from the top row of the bleachers. Jammed around the wall by Holden Pratt of Grandville. Held at the point by Kuykendall. In behind the net. The Cougars are on it here in the attack zone. Backhand pass to the front. That's intercepted. Taken away smoothly by Brendan Bourne, who's getting plenty of ice time this evening. And for a good reason. He had 18 points in 14 games last year. And he ranked 3rd on Grandville. So they had some big guns put in plenty of points. They were filling the score sheet last year. Andrew Arturo had 27 points in 14 games, nearly 2 points per game. Not even Connor McDavid can match that pace. Albeit in a different league, of course. Back to take Shane Kwiatkowski. Kwiatkowski gets his feet moving. Good skating from the defenseman. Chips and goes in after it. Kwiatkowski threw it right through the slot, and nobody home for the Cougars. Henry and Shane Kwiatkowski, the sons of Joel Kwiatkowski, who played a long time in the NHL, notably for the Florida Panthers. Chance here on the closing shot for Granville's Van de Kleese, and he put it over the net. Van de Kleese on it. Oh, a nifty little pass there, but Braden Mull wasn't in a position to shoot. Now he finds Van de Kleese, and he wanted to sneak it short side, but Goheen snaps that up, and the puck drops from his chest right into his glove. 13:10 to go in the second period, 1-1. The opener for both sides. The puck is down, and Westrick lost the draw. Shot from the outside by Fields into the breadbasket of Goheen again. 2 newbie goaltenders for the Catholic Central Cougars this season after the graduation of Lucas Chalfoun, who helped the team get all the way to the quarterfinals last year in the state Division III playoffs. Look out, maybe a broken play chance here for Matt Turcotte. Now spins away from pressure for Grandville, but put it right down the boards into traffic. The Cougars have to get their skates under him again here. Not much to speak of attack zone-wise in the second period, and Beck holds on to this puck at her skates. 12:45 left in the second. Coming up next week, 2 more games on Cougar Puck Radio. Well, tomorrow, first of all, against Rockford, the home opener, 7:30 start. And then a couple of 7:30 games next Wednesday and Friday as we bookend Thanksgiving. Christian, the Eagles, fly into Southside Ice Arena, and then Kennewa Hills will pay a visit on Black Friday. Then it's at West Ottawa in Holland on December the 1st, icing, by the way, against Granville. And then a 9-day break before a trip out east, or pardon me, trip up north, I should say, to Gaylord, where the Cougars will face Detroit Country Day and Flint Powers. Like I said, I don't think we're making the trip to Gaylord, but I guess we'll see how things go. Nothing is written in stone, or shaved in ice, as it were. Exchange of possession here, and it'll be Gabe Sova trying to wrist it toward the front, but didn't really have the opportunity. The puck remains tied up at the wall. And out with it come the Bulldogs. The one-man breakout's Gavin Rosema. Got around the edge there against Schweigert, centered the puck, and it's picked off, now given away, and hammered off a stick by Pullman, and it hops over to the near side wall. Lambers to the point, and mishandled there by Trammell Fields. Or, pardon, that's Rosema, I should say. Rosema listed as a forward, but a lot of times he's back there at the point. He's playing a rover position more than anything tonight. You see that a lot from some of the better players in high school hockey. They're usually really good skaters, and they can usually cover some ground. As long as their teammates know where they're going to be, that's all that matters. Veneclis clicks a pass off the stick of a teammate, but right back into the hands of the Cougars. Driven hard off the boards. Under some pressure was Henry Kwiatkowski. Now he'll take the puck. Kwiatkowski, the freshman defender, finds an avenue, but only to clear it, not to make a pass. And now Henry's got to go back for it again. Little soft backhand to this near side. That's Shane Kwiatkowski. How about it? Two brothers playing as D partners at the high school hockey level. That's pretty cool. Shane is the junior of the pairing, and now Shane will skate out of that pack with the puck, but the referee's arm is in the air. It's interference. Maybe a screen was set. That's not legal in this sport. And it'll be Henry Kwiatkowski headed off. Well, he's officially on the score sheet in high school hockey, but not the way he wanted to be. Two for interference with 10:58 left in the second period. That sends the Cougars shorthanded for the second time tonight. Harrington controlling the puck below the goal line. He'll dish one with the bank play out to Suwodinski. Back to Harrington. Getting a stick in the way was Shane Kwiatkowski, and he deflected the puck up into the screen, out of play. Good start to the penalty kill, even though it'll mean just another draw in the defensive zone. Poked along by Shane Kwiatkowski, whose brother is in the box, like I mentioned. Henry off for two. Turnover, Harrington couldn't get that one cleanly on target, maybe deflected on the way as it knuckled off the top of the dasher board. Thrilled some of the Grandville fans, though, behind the net. Here comes Central Catholic on a chance for Wormuth. Wormuth, though, headed off at the pass by Suwodinski as Wormuth tried to make something happen shorthanded. Kuykendall in there, too. A couple of Cougars below the face-off dots. That's all right, of course, as long as they have the puck, and they do. And it's ripped right back into the O-zone by Shane Kwiatkowski. 1 minute gone on his brother's penalty. Kuykendall with a takeaway. Weak shot toward the front. Here's Mulvey trying to turn it on goal, but he couldn't as he was knocked off stride with a hip check. Grandville in the white with the maroon helmets, maroon pants, broken up by Mulvey. Shorthanded pressure on for the Cougars. Kwiatkowski shot. Beck with the save. Rebound. And I think Soba had thoughts of a wraparound try, but couldn't corral the puck. Brendan Bourne cutting to his forehand. Has nobody with him right now. He's got to kill some time and wait. And now the rest of his troops join him. Pratt to the center point. Wrist shot score. It might have been deflected in front, but it was shot by Josiah Lambers, and it found its way through. A power play goal for Grandville and a 2-1 lead for the Bulldogs. The puck appeared to skip along the ice or maybe off a stick. Couldn't quite tell. For now, I'm going to give it to Lambers. 3 goals last season from the blue line. He adds one here in the opener on the road. And just like that, Grandville's on top. After all that shorthanded pressure, too. So now the Cougars have to work from behind for the first time this season. And the PA man is going to give Lambers the goal. And an assist to Bourne. And Rosema offside here against the Bulldogs. Down to about 9 minutes to play in the second period. And Grandville's got its first lead. Draw coming in the neutral zone. And taken back by the Cougars. Wrist shot down low from Gabe Sova, sticked away by Beck. And Beck getting the start in the opener. Takeaway here in the neutral zone by Preston Berta, who hasn't touched the puck much. Now chasing back is the Cougars' Ian Schweigert. Schweigert under duress there from Bourne. I mentioned Grandville got some energy from that early goal in the second period, and now they convert on the power play, so they're feeling a lot better about themselves these last few minutes. Gabe Sova, another wrist shot, and that is another save from Beck off the blocker hand. Gabe Sova pries the puck free. He's got a man cutting down the slot, but the pass was behind him. It was off the skate of Shane Kwiatkowski, who had a head of steam going right between the circles. Nate Sova in pursuit, but he's not going to be able to get there for Catholic Central. Lead pass for Bourne. It deflects off his stick, and he'll say he probably should have gathered that one in, but he couldn't do it. Trying to turn it up ice for the Cougars, and too many men on the ice is the call. Yes, wow, looking at it right now, there are still 6 Cougars on the ice. So that'll be a bench minor against Catholic Central, unforced error, and that'll put Catholic Central shorthanded for the 3rd time tonight. So that'll take the wind out of your sails, and it's a shame after that strong first period. Now a couple of penalties, a couple of goals against. And it's getting a little hairy in this first road game of the season for Catholic Central. Setting this one up, Holden Pratt, wrist shots, and Goheen sticks it away to the corner. Shane Kwiatkowski unable to win that puck battle. It'll be Brendan Bourne. Clearing it around the boards and just barely holding it in is Pullman. Pullman behind the goal. This is Lambers, the defenseman, getting behind the net. To Pratt, shooting, Goheen the save. Big rebound, hops off his chest. But here come the Cougars now, poked ahead, maybe a chance to break back 2-on-1, but Kuykendall couldn't make that pass up ahead to Wormuth. So here come the Bulldogs, but it's off the stick of Lambers, and is it offside? No, we have a high stick. High sticking penalty called, and it's against Catholic Central. I thought it was a high stick on the puck, but no, it's a penalty. It's going to be a 2-man advantage for Grandville. Shane Kwiatkowski. High sticking with 7:12 to go in the second period. That means it's 1 minute and 16 seconds of 2-man advantage time. That is, if the Cougars can kill it off. Suwodinski tees one up, and the save is made by Goheen right in front of the net. Harrington trying to tip it, but he didn't get a piece of it. Gunnar Suwodinski, will he gun another one? He will, and this time it's deflected off Barrett's stick into the inboards. The Cougars are 2 men down, and they're trailing by a goal, and the net is off its mooring. That's a break. The offensive team always loves to have the flow going and no whistles. So Trent Goheen gets a chance to catch his breath, as do the 3 Cougar penalty killers. In fact, one of them will change. Mulvey heads off, and Wormuth is on to take this draw. 2-1 Grandville, second period, and the Bulldogs on a 2-man advantage. Under 7 to play before the intermission. A hard wrist shot from Pratt. That just missed to the right side of the net. Retrieved off the wall. Lambers goes far side. This will be Pullman taking the puck, and again the net is off. Uh-oh. And the Bulldogs and their fans are suspecting some foul play. Sometimes those pegs just don't hold very well. And if a goalie pushes hard against a post to make a move, it can come off in a hurry. So another face-off. But Grandville, no harm there. They'll win it again. Will the Bulldogs. Holden Pratt, wristing, save made by Goheen. He hops on the rebound, sprawled out at the top of his blue paint. Big chance there. Anytime you can get a rebound up 2 men, you like your chances to find it. But not in that case. Goheen was all over it. Mulvey takes this draw. It's pried loose, though, by the Bulldogs, and back out to the point again. It's Holden Pratt, the senior defenseman. 9 points last year on 2 goals and 7 assists. Wants to go back door, broken up in the middle, and backhanded out to the line, but no further. Pulled in by Pullman. Holden Pratt fakes the shot. Got the defender Schweigert to go down. That's Ian Schweigert. To the point again as they loop it around the zone to the Bulldogs. Far side, wrist shot, that hit a body in front. Lambers gets it back. 1 second to go on the first penalty, and it's over. The Cougars are back to 5-on-4, but here's a chance, and Goheen has to make a big save on Rozema, and he does. He stands his ground, came across tall, and gobbled it up. 5:51 to go in the period, 40 seconds left on the 5-on-4 Grandville power play. Goheen looks strong, the sophomore coming up big, and there's a face-off win. A huge one to relieve some pressure. Gabe Sova flips it. Or pardon, that was Nolan Nemechek, I should say. 16, not 15. But here's Gabe Sova. 15 and 16 are out there right now for the Cougars, and with 24 seconds to go on the high sticking penalty to Shane Kwiatkowski, it looks like the Cougars are going to be doing a fine job, but hold on that for a moment. Trying to break by was Harrington. He's checked and knocked down. 7 seconds to go on the high sticking penalty. Gabe Sova has the puck. Sova escapes. Sova 1-on-2, striding ahead, shooting, and into the glove of Beck, and she keeps it. Power play's over. We're back to 5-on-5. The Cougars stay alive, just down 1 in this second period, late stages. Funny how this game can go. It looked like it was all Catholic Central after 1 period. But they were that close to going down by 2. But they stand their ground. They stay in this one. One of the Cougars checked down after the faceoff. That's Wormuth, and it's shoved right through the top of the crease there by Kuykendall, the goal scorer for the Cougars tonight. There is Kuykendall again. Off the kick plate, spinning pass in front. Loose there at the side. Beck has it with Kuykendall putting that fire poker in there, trying to fish out the puck. Could not do it. Under 5 left in the frame. Mulvey takes this face-off for Catholic Central. Swooping in to take possession, Nate Sova. Sova's behind the net, turns away from one check. Now he put it in front of the goal, but intercepted by Lambers. Lambers, who had an early goal in this second period, wants to hit the trailer, but it's intercepted there by Wormuth. Or pardon me, Mulvey right to the front, though. Rozema scores! Oh, a good bounce for Grandville, and Rozema hammers it in off the post and in. 3-1 Bulldogs, 4:37 to go in the second period. Rozema so elusive, and you see how he got all those goals last year, piled up all those points. He scored 11 last season. He's got one here. The co-captain. Didn't look like much was going on for Grandville. But there was Rozema jumping into the fray and picking up his second point of the night and his first goal. 5-on-5 goal. That one stings after the 2-man advantage was killed off by the Cougars. But Grandville gets its third goal anyway. Cross-rink pass. This goes under the stick of Drew Schweigert. Pratt will lift it up this near side. Schweigert, Ian Schweigert manning things at the point. This is Drew Schweigert sending it into the middle of the ice and pulled out of the pack there by one of the Cougars. Can't quite get his number. The student section standing right there. That was Nolan Nemechek doing the work. Want to give him credit. Ian Schweigert on his backhand up the center of the ice, and he got it through some bodies, but now it's right back to him. So Schweigert trailing by 2 now are the Cougars. I know it says 2-1 on your screen. I'll get to that in just a moment. This backhanded deep. Zach Westrick's on the chase. Had a strong first period. Hasn't seen much of the ice here in the second with some special teams kicking in. This cleared down the rink. Will it go far enough for icing? It will Not. It will stop short of the line. Braylon Outwater forced to play it for the Cougars, but it gets through a man. Kuykendall kicking at it, Wormuth. Kuykendall again reaching in. Lost control. Drew Harrington, the pass to the middle. Taken away by Shane Kwiatkowski. Kwiatkowski gave it right back, though, to the Bulldogs and Drew Harrington. Ticking close to 3 minutes to go in the second period. 3 goals in this period, all to Grandville. 3 penalties as well. And guess what? All to Catholic Central. Funny how that works. They've had to defend much of this frame. Harrington's wrister never got through. Hit a body about 20 feet out. Henry Kwiatkowski to Kuykendall. Connects on a nice pass here. Braylon Outwater on his backhand. Save back. Loose puck at the top of the crease and ushered out of danger there by Trammell Fields. Pulling up to shoot from the far side wall. One of the Cougars, and the save made by Beck. I think that was Wormuth who took the shot. Yes, it was him. Off the draw. Players battle for it, and it's tossed up out of play over the bench area. We'll do it again. Puck pursued behind the Grandville net. 3-1 Bulldogs. It was 1-0 Catholic Central after 1. That's why they play, I was going to say 60 minutes. That's why they play 51 minutes in high school hockey. Plenty of time left in this one, too. Holden Pratt, if you're a Cougars fan, which if you're watching this, I'm guessing you are, that time is still on your side. But not much left in the second period. Just 2 minutes to go. But a late goal would go a long way to getting Catholic Central back in this one on the road tonight in Georgetown Township. To the point. Pratt shot, blocked, rebound, save made by Goheen on the attempt from Bourne. The spinning backhander. Another drive from Pratt. Save, rebound, score! Too many chances. This time it's Lambers from the doorstep. He's got a 2-goal game, and Grandville has a 4-goal second period. It's 4-1. Give another assist to Holden Pratt as well. His point shot was strong off the body of Goheen and into the back of the net on the rebound chance. Like I said, Lambers listed as a defenseman, but that's not where team men usually are. Tough to keep track of. An all-out blitz for the Bulldogs in period number 2. 90 seconds to go in the frame. Maybe now the Cougars just want to survive and get out of this period, get to the dressing room. Not a positive mentality, but sometimes you got to take that mentality. But maybe not. Here's a look now for Liam Watt, shooting, score! Liam Watt says, take that. It's 4-2. Watt paraded down the left wing. He had no options. He had to shoot, and he picked the top right corner. And he just can't get enough. Watt, his first goal of the season, had 2 last year. The senior strikes. And hey, I was asking for it, and I got it. It's a second goal for the Cougars. They've given up 4, but now they get 1 back. And the complexion of this game may have just changed going into the third, assuming we go to the intermission with the same score. We might not. Breaking ahead, Pullman. He turns, but he's defended there by Shane Kwiatkowski very well. Getting close to a minute to go in the period. Lambers with a 2-goal game. You know he's hunting for more. It's back to a 2-goal margin. Grandville up 4-2. Liam Watt, what a snipe that was. Beautiful rising shot over Beck's glove. 3/4 of a minute to go in the period, and the puck ends up in the bench. Keep up if you can. Now 5 goals in this period. The game here last year was 4-3 Grandville. And just on paper, at least, it looked like it should be a close matchup, and it has been. Even though right now we're looking at a 2-goal advantage for Grandville. It's been highly competitive. Doesn't feel like the Cougars are out of it by any means. Kuykendall poking it ahead. Maybe they can get a third before the end of the frame. He's shot. Goes off the pad of Beck. Rebound chasing behind the net by Outwater. To the point. Here comes a shot. Save. Rebound. Beck gobbles it up. Clutch save on the rebound chance after Ian Schweikert put it on net. Boy, it is getting fun, isn't it, late in this period? 27.8 seconds show on the scoreboard clock. This is Matt Gajtka on the play-by-play from Griff's Georgetown, home of the Grandville Bulldogs. It's where the Cougars are tasked with trying to come out of here with maybe a point, maybe two. We'll see. That Watt goal has gone a long way to keeping spirits high, I'm sure, on that visitors' bench. And now they go to work in the offensive zone. Can they make some more magic? Not on this possession. Shane Kwiatkowski's going to have to hightail it back through the snowy ice in front of the Grandville bench. He drives one off the corner boards, and out it goes. Kuykendall overskated. Back to play Holden Pratt. Maybe right into pressure there. Now Mole will try to clear. He can't do it. We're down to 2 seconds to go in the frame, and the period will end with Easton Pratt clearing the puck and getting the Bulldogs into the break with a 2-goal lead. A couple of goals for Josiah Lambers, also one for Pullman, one for Rosema for Grandville, and very late in the period, the counterattack. Liam Watt for Catholic Central, his first of his senior season. Really a solo effort, and he made the most of it to make it a 4-2 game. We will return after 12 minutes of intermission and an ice cleaning. Should be fun in the third period. Hope you stay with us on Cougar Puck Radio. And we're back. Griff's Georgetown, the site. Catholic Central trails at 4-2 after 2 periods of play. This is Matt Gajtka, and this is Cougar Puck Radio. Remember to, as they say on YouTube, like and subscribe so you can get notifications when we go live, and all the new content will be piped right there to your personal YouTube page, or YouTube account, I should say, whenever you log on to the ubiquitous website these days. Boy, I sound old when I talk about YouTube sometimes. I'm only 36, but it's quite amazing how technology has advanced to this point. I would say I'm a one-man band tonight, but I also want to throw some kudos to a couple of folks. First of all, Luke Goheen, who's running the camera. He's on the iPad tonight. And Lynn Sova, the team manager, who has been with me every step of the way as I get acclimated to calling games for a new school, a new team. It's been my pleasure to be welcomed into the Catholic Central family. Now I got to pick up some gear, right? I got to get some more blue in my wardrobe. Perched high above the rink at Griff's Georgetown, ready to deliver to you the third period of play as Catholic Central's bench players tap their sticks on the boards. Here's a quick opportunity, though, and holding his ground on the short side post, Trent Goheen, to get the whistle 8 seconds in to the frame. I believe each of the first 3 periods we've had scoring chances, or at least shots, in the opening 15 seconds. Can't settle in at all. You got to be ready to go if you're the goalkeepers, especially Pratt's shot got all the way through. Holden Pratt has an ability to get that puck through traffic. He just pigeonholes it through there sometimes. And he's created a lot of offense tonight for the Bulldogs, who lead it by 2. It's the opener for both sides in the 2021-22 season. Out come the Bulldogs, but no, they couldn't get past the strong defensive stick of Shane Kwiatkowski, I believe it was. Josiah Lambers, sitting on 2 goals, had his wrist shot deflected to the corner glass. Kwiatkowski with a check there. Pulling it out from behind the net is the Bulldogs' Andrew Pullman, but he couldn't get a shot off. Well, you'd think the formula is to get one quickly for the Cougars if they could, but of course, they've also got to lock it down defensively. Kuykendall thought he touched that puck, but it goes for an icing. That's what his protest is about, at least as far as I can tell. Backup goalies tonight, do want to give them a mention too. Ben Hernandez, the senior for Grandville, and Max Moore is your backup on the bench, at the end of the bench, for the Cougars. 2 sophomore goalies this year for Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Pretty rare. Gabe Sova in for a shot, and a save by Beck, her biggest of the night. Nate Sova bursting right between the circles, and the left-handed shot could not beat the blocker hand. Gabe and Nate out there again. Gabe wins the draw. Slid right through. Of course, Nate is the sophomore, number 12. Gabe is the senior, number 15. Both were among the top scorers for the team last year. Sharp angle try from the Bulldogs, and Goheen fends that off too. Rough second period for the Cougars' defense and for Goheen by extension, but I can't say he was necessarily beaten on any bad goals. He's been solid here in his varsity debut. And I'm not just saying that. Sudinsky tried to give up the wall. He got it right back on a deflection, and then he looked to center it there for the man charging down the slot, Braden Mole, but it was broken up. Just about 2 minutes gone in this third period. Score remains the same as it was at the intermission. Dragging it way out high and taking the shot, Trammell Fields. Goheen ranges out of his goal crease to just flag it down. He could sense his team wanted a break, and they'll get one here. 15:01 left in regulation time. Just past 9 o'clock on this final Friday before the Thanksgiving holiday. It's going to be a fun week on Cougar Puck Radio. We got plenty of action coming for you, including 3 consecutive games at home at the Southside Ice Arena, just off 100th Street. Hope to see you there. If not, hope you can watch. Shane Kwiatkowski getting around the corner. Oh, he had some space there between the post and the goaltender Beck, and Beck ends up knocking the net off, so that net has been causing some trouble for Goheen in the second period and now for Beck here in the third, although both goalies probably say, I think I'll get by if the net comes off in a trouble spot. We'll take the whistle for sure. The goaltenders union. It's a strong one. Liam Watt, who scored at the end of the second period, leans in for this face-off. He taps it forward, but now drilled out by Holden Pratt of Grandville. Grandville on the white with the maroon helmets and pants, and Catholic Central, of course, in the traveling blues. White and gold trim for the Cougs. The freshman Henry Kwiatkowski, one hand on the stick, couldn't get it out, but now his teammate Drew Schweigert will clear, but that goes the length of the rink for another icing call. The return matchup with Grandville will come about a month and a week away on December the 28th out at Southside. That's a Tuesday 2 o'clock game during holiday break, of course. Well, it's a Catholic school. I can say Christmas break. Christmas break. Grandville's Gavin Rosema connects on a pass, but a little too far ahead of Andrew Pullman. He just had to reach out, and he ends up inadvertently tipping it off the rink. The schedule for Catholic Central stretches all the way to February 19th. Livonia Churchill will pay a visit to the Southside Arena that day, so that name catches your eye. We also see Midland Dow, Saginaw Heritage on the schedule, De La Salle, Flint Powers, the team that unfortunately ousted the Cougars in last year's playoffs in the quarterfinal round of the state bracket. They'll be coming in. That'll be on December the 11th. Or pardon me, that's actually on the trip to Gaylord, I should say. So it's listed as a home game technically, but part of a tournament set up there. Here come the Bulldogs again. Long slap shot. Kicked out. Turcotte took it, and Goheen was equal to the task. Another centering pass. Look out. Wormuth got the stick up under Schroeder's arm, but play will continue. Holden Pratt cuts to the middle on his backhand. Pratt, that long reach, tried to feed it on to Lambers, but it was through his skates. Lambers has 2 goals. He's on hat trick watch for the home side. Whoa, losing the puck to Braden Moll was Andrew Wormuth. Some trouble here for the Cougars in their own zone. Fired right through the crease by Moll from the sideboards. 13 minutes, less than 13 minutes now to go in the third period. Well, Nate Sova had a great chance to try to make it 4-3, and the Cougars will just take an icing here a couple of minutes after that. But that's the only real look that Catholic Central has generated here in this third. Small tie-up outside the Cougars bench, but it doesn't appear to be anything with animosity involved, so players are separated. Still 4-2, as you see there on your screen. If the score changes quickly, bear with me. I'm also producing tonight. Try to keep that on-screen score bug, as they call it, as updated as possible throughout the season. Shane Kwiatkowski, the bank play, using geometry to find Nate Sova. Looks up ice, but couldn't find a man. Cougars having a hard time creating any kind of speed coming out of their own zone right now. Another pass goes awry. This time it's Pullman holding in for the Bulldogs. Rosema down low, in front. Rosema turns and shoots and scores. Gavin Rosema has a nose for the net, you could say. He had his back to the goal, but he knew where he had to shoot that one. He spun and ripped it along the ice. Goheen got a piece as he was lunging back, but a broken play leads to a 5th Grandville goal and a 5-2 Bulldogs lead. 11:59 to go in the third period. Tough one to take. Catholic Central felt like it could be on the comeback trail, but now it's gotten a lot more difficult. So Rosema has 2, and Lambers has 2. Bourne and Holden Pratt get assists. Holden Pratt now has 3 points, a goal and 2 helpers. The puck shot behind Ann Beck's goal. Now in a 5-2 game. Working hard, Drew Schweigert of Catholic Central. So was Wentrick, but the puck came out of the zone and shot right back in by Henry Holloman, so the Cougars had to tag up. This will be icing back against Grandville, however. So that gives the Cougars a chance to set up shop. Catholic Central led at 1-0 after 1 period, but that feels like a long time ago now. 4 goals in the second for Grandville, and now the Dogs had 1 more here in the third to this point. Off the draw, a shot right in on Beck. She gobbles it up. We'll do it again. Brendan Bourne for Grandville against Wormuth of Catholic Central. Grandville has that face-off win, and Wormuth might have hacked the stick out of Gavin Rosema's hands, but play will roll on. A shot and a score. It's a 6th goal for the Bulldogs from Brendan Bourne. Cruising right down the slot, a 3-on-2, and it's deposited for a half dozen now for the home team. Brendan Bourne, 8 goals last year, and he gets off on the right foot in the opener of 2021-22. So the defensive zone coverage gets a little lax in the last couple of minutes. Bourne shot it right along the ice and in off the right post. Lambers gets an assist, making it a 3-point night for him. And the only assist as far as announced here initially. So now the Cougars trying to create some positive momentum and, if not come back to win tonight, get things going and make themselves feel better for the start of tomorrow's game against Rockford. Another tough game coming up tomorrow night. At least it'll be on home ice at the Southside Ice Arena. 7:30 is your puck drop time. In front score! Maybe not so fast. The Cougars have one from right out in front of the net. And it's a 6-3 game. Gabe Sova powers it home from above the crease. And for those about to rock, we salute you. Sova on the sheet in his senior year. So now Grandville doubling up Catholic Central. Nate Sova gets the assist. I thought it was him behind the net. It was a great pass from behind. That's what made the play happen. So the Sova brothers team up. They were also on the assist train for Grant Kuykendall's power play goal very early on in this game that made it 1-0 Catholic Central. That was 8 goals ago. So now it's 6-3. Well, every time I've tried to look ahead to tomorrow, the Cougars wouldn't let me. Showing some good pluck and resiliency tonight, even though they're going to need some more and then some. Icing here against Catholic Central. Off the face-off here, it's one cleanly back. Holden Pratt bidding for a second goal, but that's blocked. Solid defensive stick from Outwater. Braylon Outwater making his varsity debut tonight. Sophomore forward, wearing number 13. Also debuting this evening, Henry Kwiatkowski, Nolan Nemechek, Preston Berta, Zach Westrick, and of course the man between the pipes, Trent Goheen. Also keep that in mind too when you're talking about opening performances Guys are getting their feet wet, getting their blades in the ice for the first time at this level. Westrick tried to poke it ahead and make something happen. Couldn't do it. Now he's offside, and the shooting hits him. So that kind of night, I guess, for Catholic Central. Offside's whistle. One goal in each period thus far for the Cougars. Kuykendall in the first, Watt in the second, Gabe Sova from his brother Nate in the third. To the outside, a high-rising shot from Harrington. Catches nothing but glass. 8.5 to go in regulation. The score is 6-3. Yes, 6-3. Bit of a high-flying offensive night. More so for Grandville, though, than the Cougars of Catholic Central. The Rockford team the Cougars face tomorrow is 1-0 after a Wednesday win against Grand Rapids Christian. This Bulldogs pass from Mason Schroeder, seeing some ice time here from head coach Joel Brazil. That goes right through the legs of one of his teammates, but Schroeder's on the hard forecheck with Turcotte. Not a big roster for Grandville. Everybody's playing, basically. Lambers spinning backwards and now protecting the puck. Found Turcotte. Rips a pass ahead, and it's a good one there to Brendan Bourne, but his shot was deflected by Shane Kwiatkowski to the end wall. Less than half a period to go in this one. Grandville trailed 1-0, but the Bulldogs then scored 6 of the next 7 goals. That'll be a formula for victory most nights, I would have to wager to say. Ian Schweigert, the junior, blasted off the boards, out it goes. Easton Pratt. He's the junior, Holden Pratt's the senior. Roseman right to the goal. Oh, my goodness, he ran right through Goheen. I hope he's okay. Boy, talk about reckless abandon from Rosema. He went in hard, and those goalie pads are more meant to protect the goalie from pucks, not necessarily bodies, but it appears that Goheen's okay. I think the soft padding in the back of the goal actually helped him there, too, to absorb some of that energy. So it looked a lot worse than it could have been, I suppose. Or it looked a lot worse than it ended up being, I should say. And the faceoff would be out of the zone. That makes sense, considering it was the Bulldogs and Rosema who led to the stoppage with that barrel into the net. 6:44 remaining. And it's Rosema again. He thought he was tripped up, but there'll be no penalty coming from that. No penalties called in the third period at all, in fact. A power play goal for each team. Josiah Lambers scored it for Grandville in the second. Grant Kuykendall netted the goal, which was also the opening goal, the only goal in the power play in this game for Grand Rapids Catholic Central, and they haven't had a power play since the first period. They had back-to-back power plays. There was a penalty called right after the goal went in, basically. So they had almost, 3.5 minutes of power play time? Got the one goal, but couldn't get a second. As it turns out, that might have been a big moment. Henry Holloman took a swat at one of the Bulldogs, Pullman, who checked him hard against the boards. That's just some frustration coming out. And, well, I jinxed it, didn't I? That's going to be a penalty against the Cougars. Henry Holloman, who played all 10 regular season games last year, picked up a point. He was a sophomore then. He's a junior now. And 2 minutes are on the board on the Cougars side of things. You can see it right there on your device. 6-3 the score. Grandville over Catholic Central, pardon me. Knew I was going to say it once. There is a Central Catholic in Pittsburgh, and I just called one of their games remotely earlier this week, so I'm going to try to break myself of that habit. Catholic Central back on the PK. It's their 4th time short in this game. Remember, they killed off a 2-minute advantage when the score was 2-1 Grandville. that appeared to be huge, but of course a lot of times you can't tell a turning point until later in the game. That's what's funny about those. It's all hindsight, but hey, it's a feather in their cap nonetheless, a positive for Mike Slobodnik's crew as they will try to look back on this one and prepare for what will be a welcomed quick turnaround, I would say. Want to put this one behind you, assuming it's going to go against you at this point. With the Cougars shorthanded for the next 70 seconds, here's a breakout by Shane Kwiatkowski, but couldn't get the puck over to Braylon Outwater. But on following is Nemecek with a shot, but it was deflected off the end boards. Nemecek swirling behind the goal. Boy, give him a lot of credit for continuing to churn his legs, but he was checked down by Harrington. 52 seconds remaining in this third period, or pardon me, in this power play. 5 minutes remaining on the third period clock. Bulldogs doubling up the Cougars at the moment. Josiah Lambers wanted to feed Rosema in the middle, but it's broken up. And the Cougars can maybe try to push it. Kwiatkowski, lead feed here. In the middle, it's Mulvey trying to get a shot off, but he was defended well by Lambers, who got back. Nate Sova made that pass and looked like it was going to connect. Another clear for Catholic Central. 4.5 left in the third. I said at the start of the frame they need one quickly. They need a couple quickly. Lambers, high shot. Blocker save made by Goheen. Rebound spits out high in the slot. And another shot there from Pratt. Holden Pratt. That's patted away by Goheen. And there's an arm in the air from the referee in the neutral zone. The penalty expires, and we have elbowing, I think, against Grandville this time. So it's not quite over yet. 4:09 to play. All right, Josiah Lambers heads off for an elbowing minor penalty. And asking you shall receive. GR Catholic Central gets its third power play of the night. They're 1 for 2, are the Cougars. Puck drop, puck in skates, and pulled out of there by Easton Pratt. Slung it all the way down the rink, right in on Goheen, who has to play it away from the on-charging Mole. Good heads-up play there. Shane Kwiatkowski couldn't take the puck with him north. He got around one man, but not the second. Now Nate Sova plays it back to his own defensive blue line. Zach Westrick, the high hoist, but the Cougars were going to be offside. So it's Harrington taking a look and ripping it all the way down, and that sends one of the linesmen tumbling. Gets an awe from the crowd. Brendan Bourne behind the goal, shorthanded. Half minute gone on this elbowing penalty to Josiah Lambers, the senior defenseman, on Grandville. Look out, dangerous pass behind the Cougars' net. A little nonchalant there, but it'll be recovered by Gabe Sova. And Shane Kwiatkowski's on it once more. Right-handed shooting D-man. Off to Gabe Sova. Gains the line. Sova pulls up, wants to shoot, and does. And Beck made the save along the ice. And Quickendall couldn't get to the rebound in time. Whistle sounds. .306 to go in the third period. 57 seconds remaining on the power play. Second unit out there for the Cougars. Ryder Mulvey goes forward with it, right to the net, score! Getting his own rebound. Right out in front was Braylon Outwater. The sophomore connects from the top of the crease, nudging it between the pads, it appeared, of Van Beck, and it's a 6-4 game. Outwater's first goal as a varsity Cougar. And he gets a tap on the pads from his teammate Ryder Mulvey. His classmate in the sophomore class, but Mulvey played extensively last year, made an impact as a freshman. Braylon Outwater, number 13, is on the sheet. And it's a 2-goal game. Bourne will take a shot for Grandville. That's blocked. So the belief is still there. 2 for 3 effort on the power play tonight for the Cougars. Continuing the theme from last year. They were nearly 40% successful last season in those 10 regular season games. The numbers, in fact, were, was it 7 for 19? So not a lot of opportunities, but they scored quite a bit. relatively speaking. Rosema wants a wrap, and he does. Goheen makes the save, 2:23 to go. Cougars remain viable in this one, but they give it up. But a deflected shot from Pullman goes off the end boards and picked up by Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Trying to kick it to his stick was Outwater, but given away. Back comes Mole with a shot, and a glove save made by Goheen. Well then, more exciting at the end than we thought it might be. 2 straight goals for Catholic Central. 1 at even strength, 1 on the power play. And here they come again. Shane Kwiatkowski. Boy, he loves to rush that puck, doesn't he? That's his MO, you can tell right away. Got it deep. That's all the Cougars want right now. Holloman at the line. Bouncing shot toward the front. Little nervous play there. And given up. Taken on the move by Sova. Nate Sova tried to pull up, but he couldn't draw to his forehand effectively. He's asked to go chase back, but it's icing against Grandville. Neither team has used their timeout as far as my memory banks are concerned. This kind of feels like the time when someone might. I guess not. Off the face-off. Cougars go to work. Kuykendall scored way back in the first period. Shane Kwiatkowski lifting it down the glass. 1:26 to go. I'll keep an eye on the goaltender, Goheen, down to my left. He's still in the net right now. Still a 5-on-5 situation. Kuykendall lost command. Bulldogs clear. Liam Watt pulls it out of the pack. Shane Kwiatkowski. Goheen looks to the bench. Slobodnik ready to wave him over, but the Bulldogs have the puck again as they saucer it down once more. 1 minute to go in the third period. Still 6-4. Goheen's got to come sooner than later, you would imagine. And now it's shot in, and he will head off to the bench. He makes a sprint there. 6 attackers on for the guys in blue. 50 seconds to go in the third period. Long shot down the ice. No icing. It was deflected at center right at the line, apparently by Braden Mull. Boy, that was a close call, and it could have led to an offensive zone draw for Catholic Central, but not to be. Nate Sova couldn't get around a man. It's taken by Turcotte for the empty net, and he missed it. Missed it from the neutral zone. 30 seconds left in the game. Henry Holloman, good pass far side. Sova shooting, save back, rebound was there. Now picked up by Outwater. Makes a good pass. Holloman's open center point, shot it, deflected wide. I think Nate Sova got a piece of it. 12 seconds to go in the third period. Front of the net, Nate Sova hunting for it. It's in some skates. And Nate Sova has it again. Out to the line, and Holloman can't hold it. That's going to do it. Down to the final 5 seconds. Net remains empty, but neither team will be able to score, and that's it. 6-4 your final from Griff's Georgetown. Catholic Central scores twice in the third, but they also give up a pair, and that seals their fate here on the road in the season opener. Well, I enjoyed calling the game for you tonight. Really looking forward to seeing a home game for the Cougars tomorrow against Rockford. It's a 7:30 puck drop for Mike Slobodnik's team as they fall to 0-1 on the season. Falling a little bit behind in the Rue Division standings, but it's very early, of course, and they'll get a chance to rebound tomorrow at home against the Rams. Thank you again to Lynn Sova and Luke Goheen, who held the camera steady all night. Much appreciate the support and the hospitality from the Grandville Bulldogs hockey team as well. This is Matt Gajtka signing off and saying good night from Georgetown Township. We'll talk to you tomorrow night from the Southside Ice Rink. God bless. Have a great Friday night. We'll see you Saturday.